Greetings. Frederick Riddle here, and today I have a new lesson I want to bring to you. This one is called The Beginning and Setting. It's lesson 8. And this particular one is getting you started in how to begin your book. You may have already started your book by now. And so I want to give you some pointers that are very important for you to follow and to understand. The beginning of your novel is absolutely important. You want to grab the reader's attention right away. So I'm going to give you a principle. And this first principle is this: use action words or shock to get the story started. I'll repeat that. Use action words or shock to get the story started. For an example, it could start out simply like this. The very first sentence: 10 minutes from now, Jed would be dead. Actually, an author did use something very similar to that. No, not that way exactly, but it was expressed in one sentence that this character was going to die. Now, obviously, if the character is going to die, he's not the primary character in the book. But it grabbed your attention right away. It gives you a sense of shock. Whoa, what's this? And you focus in on it. I used an example similar to this. I could have started out my book on the world of Joseph. I could have started out that one as Joseph struggled as his brothers cast him into the pit. Now, I didn't use that, but I could have. That would have probably caught people's attention. I expanded on that and used a whole scene in a downloadable PDF. You will see that scene played out, and it sets up the whole story of his struggle. You see it right off the bat, and then the story goes back in time. Before that, you see it on TV a lot, where they start to show off with something, and then they say, well, 13 hours earlier. Well, that's basically what this is. And so sometimes you give the reader a glimpse of the future, just to grab enough to grab the hold of their attention, so that when they read on, they have this in their mind and they're reading this and wondering, how this is going. Now, of course, if in my case it's a Bible story based on a Bible story, so it's something a lot of people are familiar with. So it's not really a big mystery, but still in all, it grabs the attention. And so I do that, and that's something for you to understand. To use that first sentence, I would rather you not worry about trying to accomplish it with a scene yet. As you grow as a writer, you'll be able to do something like that. I didn't start out that way. The best way to start out is looking at 1 or 2 sentences, maybe 3, but 1 or 2 sentences, especially if you can do it in 1 sentence, something that really grabs hold of their attention. It can be right then and there, that's going to happen right then and there. It can be something that's going to happen further on down the road, but not too far down the road. But you want to grab the reader's attention. So that's something you can practice and work on. Now, another subject we're going to be looking at today is called the setting. This is the world around them. The mountains, the valleys, the cities, the farm country. Where is this taking place? What's it look like? What's it feel like? What's it smell like? And here is another very, very important principle. Show, don't tell. When I first started out writing, I was a tell. Excuse me, I was a tell. I would write, and I thought I did a pretty good job on my prose. It was flowery, it was beautiful. It talked about the mountains and the colors and all that stuff. But there's a better way, and that's simply show that same things, those same things. Show the color, show the smell, show it, but do it through the eyes, ears, nose, the mouth of your characters. Let them tell the story, show the story. As they look in there and they're looking around, they see these things and how they impact them. And you're actually doing one thing. You're building a character right in front of the reader. They're getting immersed in that character, learning about that character, what that character thinks and feels, and so forth. And at the same time, you're seeing the setting that you have. It makes a huge difference. And that is one of the things that you need to learn. So there's two rules here I want you to focus in on. And one is to use that first sentence to grab attention. Try to do it with that first sentence. Secondly, show, don't tell. And then there's another thing here. I believe I have another rule coming up here that I want you to think about. And this is, you ever heard the statement, the rest of the story? Well, that's sort of what I have here, is that you can begin a new chapter similar to how you began the book. For instance, you started out the book with something that grabbed your attention, right? Well, why not do that with a chapter? Now, I wouldn't necessarily recommend you do this with all chapters, but some of them you can do that, especially if that chapter might be a little bit slower or whatever. Give them some excitement to help carry it along. The idea is that just as you used action and/or shock to start the book, why not use it elsewhere as well? And you'll probably have many chapters. So, like I said, use it with caution on there. You're going to be later on in this course, we're going to be looking at scenes. They have a beginning and a middle and an ending, and you can actually vary those. But just like your book has the same idea. There's a beginning to the book, a middle, and an ending. And so we will explore that later on. But one of the things I want to bring to your attention right now is another rule. And this one here is the city, town, or village doesn't have to have a real name. Now, my wife recently wrote a novel in which took place in a fictional town. She created it from scratch, and it's called The Keys to Murder. And it's a very interesting, enjoyable story that you don't really ever worry about where this is located, what state it's located in, or whatever. It's the story itself that grabs your attention and holds it. And so that is something that you can use as a reference going forward. So in review, I just want to cover use action words or shock to get your story started. Show, don't tell. And also city, town, and village does not have to be real. And then on this same page that you're watching this video, I have text which follows pretty much along what I'm telling you, but it also, you will find some downloadable material. Take it, make it part of your digital library. It's important that you have a digital library to begin with, because this is something you can always go back to and refer to and build your career on. And by the way, just as a thought for you to keep in the back of your mind, I am going to be giving you later on, probably at the end of the course, but I'm working on building a library that will have these tools and other tools. And because you will be a graduate of this course, you will have access to that library. So that's it for today. Don't forget to download those downloadable those PDFs. And you have a great day, and we will see you in the next lesson.